Ask, I mean, just throw out this question, does can anyone cite any really compelling hard evidence for the physical existence of extraterrestrial craft, or is it still floating in this endless limbo of uncertainty?
Well, this physical thing, I've done a lot of thinking about this because, again, I'm supposed to be an empirical scientist, okay? What is data, right? We are trapped in the very paradigm that we're trying to work on, which is that the only data is the data of the instruments. The data of our consciousness, which is ultimately the source of all the data, we don't trust. So, I mean, I've had people tell me who are trapped in this paradigm as much as I'm describing now, who say, I don't care what you show me in the way of physical evidence, this cannot be, and therefore I don't believe it. It doesn't matter what the physical evidence is. It could land on the Boston Common, and the whole television networks of Boston could all film it, and I would not believe it because it's not possible, and it would have to be a hoax, and we would find ways to find that this was put on by somebody, and we wouldn't believe it. I mean, it depends when a culture is ready to perceive something before it can show up, apparently. I mean, this is...
I've heard that question more from people when they knew what this program was going to be about. They said, if this is real, if something real is happening, there would surely be a piece of physical evidence. And I don't know what to say. I don't know how you answer it.
Well, I think the phenomenon can be real without there being this kind of physical aspect. It's as though you have to be able to...
But people want proof. I mean, they want to see or touch.
Yeah, but that's their problem. It's not my problem.
The whole question is, in what sense real, right? Yes, kind of reality are we talking about? That's what makes it so interesting.
Well, real like this table.
Well, but that's a very limited definition of reality. What we call science, what now passes for science, which is really a product of the past 300 years, could be looked upon as an effort to create certainty and to gain control of the physical world. Now, this phenomenon is, by definition, breaks that control. You do not have control here. The loss of control at every level that this represents is where I think that the resistance is, and what makes us hang on so tight to wanting proof in a purely physical way.
You know, another response, though, to the question of where's the proof, why don't we have a chunk of one, is it's really kind of naive. It's due to our naivete in really thinking about what advanced technology might be. And I think the people who think of aliens as nuts and bolts aliens think of them as just a little bit better than us. Like the Boeing 707s that are round and go faster, or something like that, and operating tables that are fancier, probes that are fancier. But if you really think that it took us, what, 300 years of science to get here, suppose you have 3 million years or something like that. Suppose you have complete technological control over materialization and dematerialization, just absolutely scientific technological control. How could we ever get a piece of it if they didn't want us to get a piece of it? I mean, if you really take seriously the idea that there could be beings unimaginably more technologically advanced than us, this isn't my point, other people have made it, then there's no significant difference between technology and magic. Anything that's traditionally thought of as magic could be achieved just by technical means.
I have only one last question. I still wonder what you think it is. You must have inclinations about what the hell's going on. John, do you?
Yeah, I mean, what it is. I mean, again, people have, this has been a very complex discussion. People have said there may be many phenomena. It seems to be something which seems to be shattering a paradigm of reality that is entering our world, and whether we like it or not, whether it exists in the conventional terms of existence in physical reality, it is opening us up to another notion of what reality includes and who we are in the universe.
So will we ever, I mean, well, we don't know if we'll ever find the answer, or if we'll ever...
Well, until we respect consciousness as an instrument of knowing, I don't think we will. If we're still stuck with the only thing we trust is what a machine shows us, and we don't trust our psyches as the instruments of an expanded way of knowing, yes, we won't know. We're only going to know this through consciousness. That's been at least the information that I'm getting. We're not going to get it through the machines of the old paradigm.
What I say about this is this whole discussion, oh, sorry, what I say without moving my hands is, this whole discussion is meant to frustrate the viewer of this program, just as the phenomenon is made to frustrate the mind of the scientist who's trying to box it up in a tidy package. It's just as John says, each individual has to make himself the center of his own experience and understanding. He is or she is not going to get the answer from science, not going to get the answer from us. At the end of the program, this viewer should feel frustrated. And it's right that he or she feel frustrated, because they're going to have to search for the answer for themselves. It's not going to come from us or from any authority. There's, in a sense, I don't want to say there isn't an answer to this question, but each person must seek the own answer, and the seeking is the answer, not the solution.